Hey everybody and welcome back to the channel. With the Oscars quickly approaching on March 12th, I thought what better time than to go through each category and give my personal picks and predict who I think the Academy will award. I've been following the award season pretty closely this year and I've seen the majority of the films, so I think I have a pretty good grasp about what's going to happen. So, without further ado, let's jump into my picks. The first three categories I'm going to go through, live action short, and documentary feature, I'm going to cover fairly quickly, as I've unfortunately haven't had a chance to check any of them out. The nominees for short film live action are An Irish Goodbye, Ivaloo, Night Ride, Les Pupilles, and The Red Suitcase. I'm going to go with the current betting favorite on Gold Derby, Les Pupilles, to win the Oscar. The nominees for documentary short are How Do You Measure a Year, The Elephant Whispers, Haul Out, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Strangers at the Gate. I'm also going to go with the current betting favorite, The Elephant Whisperers, to take the Oscar for this category. The nominees for documentary feature are All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, Navalny, and A House Made of Splinters. Now, the race for documentary feature is a little bit closer, with All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, and Navalny all being in the race for this Oscar. I'm personally going to predict Fire of Love, which is in second place on Gold Derby's odds currently. Kicking off the categories where I have some personal input is animated short. The nominees are My Year of Dicks, An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake and I Think I Believe It, The Flying Sailor, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, and Ice Merchants. I have personally seen The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, and An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake and I Think I Believe It. Personally, out of those three films, Ice Merchants is by far and away the best one. I know currently the betting favorite is Apple TV's The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, but Ice Merchants is so touching and the animation is so beautiful, I have a hard time thinking that the Oscars can't award this film. So, for my first personal pick, I'm going to go Ice Merchants, and I'm also going to predict the Academy Award to go to Ice Merchants. Up next is International Feature Film. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina 1985, Close, EO, and The Quiet Girl. I find it extremely hard to predict anything in this category except All Quiet on the Western Front, as it has 9 nominations extending outside of this category. I'm also going to pick All Quiet on the Western Front for my personal favorite. The nominees for original song are Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick, Natu Natu from RRR, and Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I do think Natu Natu is the frontrunner in this category, but I do have some reservations, as this is the only nomination the film has at the Academy Awards. With that being said, it has taken almost every single precursor, which is very strong. I would watch out for Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick to upset in this category on Oscars night, but for the time being, I am going to predict RRR takes this award, and it is also my personal pick for the award. Continuing with the more predictable categories is visual effects. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun Maverick. I think we can all agree it would be an absolute shock if Avatar did not take this award on Oscars night. It is clearly the most mind-blowing movie visual effects wise, and I think it will take the award, and it is also my personal pick. Next is sound. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun Maverick. I believe All Quiet, Elvis, and Top Gun all have a really good chance at taking home this award. They all have different elements that the Academy really likes to award in this category, with wars, planes, and music. When looking at all the different categories as a whole, there's one movie that really stands out to me here, and I think it may be its sole win of the night, and that is Top Gun Maverick. The audio mixing and sound in that movie is magnificent. You just hear all the planes zooming by, all the different tricks they're doing in the air, and to me, it really is the standout in the sound category this year. So I'm going to pick that for my personal favorite, and I also think the Academy will go with Top Gun Maverick as well. The nominees for production design are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fabelmans. There's one movie here that has swept every single award leading up to this, and that is Babylon, which is a movie I absolutely adore, and I wish it would have got more nominations at the Oscars this year. But just looking at all the different nominees here, I think the only one that has a real chance of upsetting Babylon is Elvis, but there's really no reason why I would even pick that at this point. So, for my personal pick and what I think the Oscars will do is Babylon. For the first category where I'm going to differ from what I think the Academy will do is original score. The nominees are Everything Everywhere All at Once, All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, and The Fablemans. My personal pick in this category is Babylon. I absolutely love Justin Hurwitz's score, and I've had Voodoo Mama stuck in my head since I left the theater back in December. It's an absolute earworm, and I love listening to it even outside of the film. But with Babylon only receiving 3 Oscar nominations, I have a hard time believing it's going to take home 2 of its nominations. So, that leads me to believe someone else will win this award. I really think Everything Everywhere, All Quiet, and The Fablemans all have a really good shot of taking this home, but it's really a coin flip at this point. The one thing that really sticks out to me is John Williams is getting up there in age, and the Academy loves nominating him, and he already has 5 wins. With him finally working with Steven Spielberg once again, and this could be one of his last movies, I have a feeling the Academy is going to go with John Williams in The Fablemans. The nominees for makeup and hairstyling are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. While all these films have fantastic makeup and hairstyling, there are clearly 2 frontrunners that have been flip-flopping all of the precursors, and that's Elvis and The Whale. I personally think the Academy is going to lean towards the film nominated in the Best Picture category with Elvis. Austin Butler went through quite a transformation to look like older Elvis, plus Tom Hanks wore quite a few prosthetics when he was portraying the Colonel. For me personally though, I am going to go with Brendan Fraser in The Whale. He said that he was in the makeup chair for over 7 hours a day before shoots, and that movie just wouldn't be as good as it is if that makeup didn't look that outstanding. It really captures the character of Charlie and it sells the movie, and I just really believe that that is the most impressive makeup that I saw this year. Up next is costume design. The nominees are Babylon, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I think the frontrunner for the Oscar is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Ruth Carter won an Oscar for her work on the first film a few years ago, and I feel like the second film just improves on her work that she did in the first movie, so I feel that the Oscars will want to award her for that work. If there is an upset though, I do feel like it will be Elvis, as those costumes look fantastic and they look just like the ones Elvis wore in real life decades ago. I feel like if there's a lot of older voters in the Oscar body, they may see that and really want to go for that film. For me personally though, I am going to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think some of the costumes worn in that movie are already all-time classics on the big screen. There's Jamie Lee Curtis's sweater, Stephanie Sue's outfit as Jobu Tupaki, and I just really think that those costumes sell the characters, sell the different universes, and I absolutely love every single outfit that was worn in that film, so I have to go with that for my personal pick. The nominees for achievement in editing are The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. I feel like this award was really up in the air for quite some time. Elvis has a lot of bombastic editing. Top Gun Maverick has the quick cuts. They used hours upon hours of plane footage to cut together that movie. But something happened that really kind of made this category a runaway, and that was the BAFTAs giving Everything Everywhere All at Once a win. The BAFTAs are an award body that don't really award the crazy, zany, off-the-wall, inventive flick, and when they gave Everything Everywhere the BAFTA for editing, that says a lot. So it clearly is the frontrunner here, and I believe it will take home the Oscar. It is also my personal pick because I think it has the most fun and inventive editing in this category, but I also would not be angry if Top Gun took home this award. And the final below the line category is Achievement in Cinematography. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. I think the Academy will go with All Quiet on the Western Front for the win here. After All Quiet won the BAFTA for Achievement in Cinematography, I think it pretty much secured its win on Oscar night. I have a hard time seeing any of these other films really take home the award, in my opinion. But for my personal choice, I am going to go with Tar. I think that movie is absolutely stunning, even if I don't care for the film overall. There are some shots in that movie that are magnificent. I personally love the shot of Lydia Tarr sitting in the empty auditorium and the seats kind of like line up in this really cool pattern formation. There's also numerous other shots that just look fantastic. So for me personally, that is the one I would go with. Kicking off the 8 above the line categories is original screenplay. The nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Now, this category is coming down to 2 films, and that is Everything Everywhere and The Banshees of Inisherin. The WGAs take place on March 5th, and I feel like that will really solidify my predictions based on who wins that, but I am recording this video before then, so I'm kind of just going to base my picks on a hunch here. I do think Everything Everywhere is the frontrunner right now to take home the Academy Award, because normally the frontrunner in Best Picture also takes home the Writing Award. I could also see Banshees upsetting here because I overall do think Martin McDonagh's script is better than Everything Everywhere, but I just can't deny that package of Best Picture and Screenplay. So I do think the Academy will award the film there, but for me personally, I did enjoy the writing a lot more in The Banshees of Inisherin. Next is Adapted Screenplay. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. For me personally, there's one standout here, and that is Women Talking, written by Sarah Polley. It is by far and away my favorite screenplay of the year. It is so well crafted, the film is so well paced based on the script alone, and it's so dialogue heavy, but you are never bored. The entire film pretty much takes place in a barn, but I never once want to take my eyes off the screen, so I will be very upset if Sarah Polley doesn't take home this award. I also think she is currently the frontrunner to take home the award in this category, but I could see All Quiet on the Western Front upsetting here, and I think that would probably be my personal biggest upset of the night. Now it's time for Achievement in Directing. The nominees are Martin McDonagh, The Banshees of Inisherin, The Daniels, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg, The Fablemans, Todd Field, Tar, and Ruben Östlund, Triangle of Sadness. I wanted to put directing before the acting awards because I think there is one true frontrunner here, and I would be shocked if they didn't win, and that is the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. They took home the DGA award, which is usually one of the biggest precursors for the Oscars, and I really just don't know who would upset here. I'm guessing it would probably be Spielberg for The Fabelmans since he won the Golden Globe Award, but that just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like the movie isn't that groundbreaking or that grand, where the Daniels are really doing something new, interesting, and pushing the boundaries of cinema. So, for my personal pick and who I think the Academy will go with is the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Before jumping into the mess of the other acting categories, we'll start with the easy one, Supporting Actor. The nominees are Brendan Gleeson, The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry, Causeway, Judd Hirsch, The Fablemans, Barry Keoghan, The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke Huy Quan, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I believe there's only one person that can win this Oscar, and I will be so excited when he accepts his award on stage, and that is Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He has won every single precursor except the BAFTA that did go to Barry Keoghan. I guess there is a very, very slight chance Barry could take home the Oscar, but that would be an absolute shock. It would either be between Adapted Screenplay and this being the biggest upset of the night for me, and I just really don't picture a world where Ke Huy Quan does not get this Oscar. He has such an amazing story. You want to hear him give that speech up on the stage, and he honestly has the best performance, in my opinion, in this category. So I really hope he takes home that win. He's my personal pick, and I believe the Academy will go with him as well. Up next is probably the messiest category for the night for predicting, and that's Supporting Actress. The nominees are Angela Bassett in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow in The Whale, Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, 3 actresses here have taken home major precursors. Jamie Lee Curtis won the SAG, Carrie Condon won the BAFTA, and Angela Bassett won the Critics' Choice and the Golden Globe. So I could see any one of them winning the Oscar. But to also include someone else, I could see Stephanie Sue just randomly taking home this award because this category is such a toss up. Hong Chau's the only one I really don't see winning here. So I really flip back and forth on who I think the Oscar will go to, but the BAFTA is usually the best precursor for predicting actor awards, so I am going to go with Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin. I also picked Carrie Condon as well because I have not predicted The Banshees of Inisherin winning any Oscars so far, and I do feel like they love this movie and they will want to award it someplace, so I feel like this is a good category to do so, as Carrie Condon was phenomenal in this movie. For me personally, though, I'm going to go a little bit off the trail, and I am going to pick Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I absolutely love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's one of my all-time favorite actresses. I love her in Halloween, Scream Queens, and Freaky Friday, and I feel like this may be her one chance to get an Oscar, so I'd absolutely love to see her go up on that stage and give a fantastic acceptance speech, just like she did at the SAG Awards. Next is lead actor. The nominees are Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Paul Mescal in Aftersun, and Bill Nye in Living. Now, I feel this Oscar is coming down between Brendan Fraser and Austin Butler. Butler has taken home the BAFTA and the Golden Globe, while Fraser has taken the SAG and Critics' Choice. I really think this category could technically be a coin flip, but I am going to lean towards Austin Butler taking home the Oscar, as Elvis is a Best Picture nominee, and The Whale didn't really get that many nominations. So I feel like Fraser's performance would really have to be over the top and just phenomenal for him to take home the Oscar over Elvis, and I just really don't see that happening. Even though both of these performances are fantastic, I do think they're about equal, so Butler will be my front runner. For me personally, though, I am going to go with Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin. I believe his performance was a little bit more reserved for the awards season circuit, but it was absolutely heart-touching, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, and it just moved me in a certain way that the rest of these performances did not, so that is who I'm going to take for my personal pick. And the final acting category is Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Cate Blanchett in Tar, Ana de Armas in Blonde, Andrea Riseborough in To Leslie, Michelle Williams in The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Looking past the strange controversy around Andrea Riseborough's nomination, this category is really Cate Blanchett versus Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh took home the SAG, and Cate Blanchett took home the Critics' Choice, Golden Globe, and BAFTA. I think a lot of people kind of have this category as a coin flip right now. I think it's more of a 70-30 race, so I am going to predict Cate Blanchett to take home this Oscar. Similar to my Carrie Condon prediction, I haven't given Tar an Oscar yet in my predictions, and I really think the Academy will really want to award this film come Oscars night, and I think this is a really good place to do it, as Cate Blanchett's performance is phenomenal. For me personally, though, I am going to go with Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh is the heart of that film, and I believe her performance is just as good as Cate Blanchett's, if not better. I just find it, I just kind of have a hard time predicting her to win the Oscar, but I would be absolutely floored if her name is called come Oscar night. And we have made it to the final award, Best Picture. I haven't really had a chance to share my opinion on each of these films, so I thought it'd be fun to count down the films 10 to 1 from my least favorite to favorite before revealing who I ultimately think will take home the major award of Best Picture. Coming in at number 10 for me is Elvis. It is by far and away my least favorite film nominated for Best Picture this year. That being said, I do think Austin Butler is phenomenal in the movie, and he portrays Elvis very, very well. I just really couldn't get behind Baz Luhrmann's wacky style of editing, and plus I was really put off by the Doja Cat and Denzel Curry inclusions in an Elvis film. I feel like including modern rap and pop music in a biopic about someone who was alive decades ago just feels really strange and off-putting, and I just had a really rough time watching this film in its entirety. I want to preface my 9 through 1 rankings by saying every film from here on out I did give a 7 out of 10 or higher, so I really did enjoy all of these films. There's just some I enjoyed a little bit more than others. Coming in at the number 9 spot is Tar. I think Tar is one of the better looking films of the year, and Cate Blanchett gives one of the best performances of the year. I just felt like the second half of this film really dragged for me. I really didn't care about all the people in Lydia Tarr's life or what happened to the relationships, and I ultimately didn't care about where her character was headed. The ending did redeem it a bit, as I thought it was pretty funny and a pretty justifiable ending to everything that took place, but it overall just wasn't my favorite of the bunch. Up next is Triangle of Sadness. The film takes place in 3 chapters, and the first 2 are absolutely phenomenal. The second is the true standout, where all the rich people are on the boat, and at one point they all start like throwing up and sliding around in it, and it really is this very comical scene about rich people and the class system and the elite group in our society. Chapter 3 is where the film really fell apart for me. I really think it could have been wrapped up a lot quicker than it was. It drug on forever. I could really tell where the film was going, and it really slowed down this train to a screeching halt for me. But other than that, I do think the first hour and a half of this film is absolutely amazing. At number 7, I have Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, this movie is probably the biggest visual achievement I've seen in my life. I loved every single second on the planet of Pandora. The underwater scenes, especially, were phenomenal. Where this movie kind of falls short for me is the story, which was my issue with the first one as well. James Cameron knows how to direct an epic, but his stories all seem to be a little bit lackluster to me, especially his more recent work. And I just really did not care about the battle between the human avatars and then the residents of Pandora. General Quaritch is still one of my least favorite characters of all time. He is the reason why I really do not like the first Avatar film. He's not as bad in this movie, but I still really do not enjoy his presence. At number 6, I have All Quiet on the Western Front. If you know me, I am not a war movie person at all, so I had really low expectations going into this movie, and it blew me away. This movie is devastating, it's brutal, it's gory, it's in your face, and it's truly devastating. I really enjoyed pretty much every single second of this movie. The battle scenes are epic, the cinematography is outstanding, and it really just left this gut-wrenching sorrowness in my stomach as the credits rolled. If you are a fan or not even a fan of war movies, I highly suggest checking this out. It is definitely worth the watch. At number 5, I have The Banshees of Inisherin. I absolutely love how Martin McDonagh perfectly balanced dark comedy with the sadness and unfulfillment of each character on the island of Inisherin. Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan, and Kerry Condon give 4 of the best performances of the year. I was truly devastated throughout the entire runtime, but I also laughed out loud quite a few times in this film as well. It's a very unique film, and it's unlike anything I've seen before, so if you haven't checked out this movie yet, make sure to do so. It is now streaming on HBO Max. At number 4, I have The Fabelmans. Steven Spielberg has blessed us with so many amazing movies over the years. I feel like it was only right that he got to tell us his origin story. I did not expect to be as touched and moved by this movie as I was. The film is really about how young Steven Spielberg used making movies as a form of escapism from his family life. His family life wasn't perfect, it wasn't awful either, but they clearly dealt with issues when he was a child. And just to kind of see how that shaped him to be the human he was today, and how it really pushed him into the career path that he ultimately chose, is truly beautiful. And that ending scene and ending shot are absolutely phenomenal, and if this is for some reason Steven Spielberg's last film, that is a hell of a way to go out. At number 3, I have Top Gun Maverick. If you told me at the beginning of last year that Top Gun would be one of my favorite films of the year, I probably would have laughed in your face. But this film truly blew me away. Every single action shot is breathtaking, and every single plane scene is amazing. The sound design, sound mixing, cinematography, and editing is all top notch. Tom Cruise gives another fantastic performance, and that Val Kilmer scene absolutely destroyed me. Top Gun proved to us that a blockbuster movie can bring everyone back to the theater, and it can still rake in millions upon millions of dollars at the box office. If for some reason you haven't checked out this film yet, make sure to do so. It is a true throwback action film, and I hope we get more films like this in the coming years. My second favorite Best Picture nominee this year is Women Talking. If there's one way to win me over, it is to have a bunch of people in a confined space and let the craft of the script do the work. 12 Angry Men is one of my all-time favorite movies, and that has one of the best screenplays of all time. I believe Women Talking is on that level. The majority of this film takes place in a barn, and it's just women discussing if they should fight against men that are assaulting them, or just leave their town altogether. This film is touching, The script is so tight and fantastic and well paced. Every single performance in this movie is phenomenal. I love Claire Foy, I love Jessie Buckley, and overall, this film was just outstanding. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, but this is truly one of the best films of the year. Please go out and see this film. It deserves all the support, and I really hope this rakes in some more money at the box office. And my number one film of the year is also the film I'm predicting to take home Best Picture: Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know what I can say about this film that already hasn't been said, but I just love every single second of this movie. The Daniels took everything they did in Swiss Army Man and kicked it up to 10 and crafted an amazing film. Michelle Yeoh, Ke Kwan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Stephanie Hsu truly give four of the best performances of the year. I really think when we're looking back at the decade of the 2020s, this will be one of the best films of the decade. I laughed, I cried, I was shocked, I was stunned. I felt every single emotion in this movie, just like the title states, everything, everywhere, all at once. This movie is on another level. I absolutely love what the Daniels are doing, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. And I really hope on Oscar night they are the last people on that stage accepting the award for Best Picture. I want to thank you for checking out my 2023 Oscar predictions. Who do you think's going to win some awards? Who do you want to win the awards? Please let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It all goes a long way in helping me out. Thank you, and have a good one, everybody.